Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. Is comfortable, is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee, dee-dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hello, everyone. I am probably not a familiar face to most of you. I am Justin. I will be the game master tonight. You may have seen me in one video before this, the cartographer session. We made a map on crinkled up paper. We threw rice on it, drew out all the features based on that. This will be a campaign set in that world. So a little bit about me. I've been playing D&D for about 10 years, most of the time DMing that because no one wants to DM. So that's what we're doing tonight. I am going to be the DM for that. I met everyone that's going to be playing tonight, all these beautiful people in the New Orleans D&D tour from Destination D&D. They graciously asked me to be the DM tonight. So I accepted that, and we'll see how the story goes. Mab is here. She will be one of our players. Mab, you want to jump in here?
Yeah. Hi. We're very excited to have you join us tonight. And I was with you when we helped create the map, and I had absolutely, or did I say map? I meant map, and I had absolutely no influence on the naming of any of the cities or the regions therein lied. So
Right,
we
exactly.
are
Where's your character from, by the way?
Mermadlandia.
Mhm, mhm.
So we're very excited that you are joining us tonight. We do have an amazing cast of old favorites and new. Let's see. Let's bring up Lady Prudence, who you also met down in New Orleans.
Well, hi, seaweed friends. It's me. I'm Brucilla Burble, and a cleric in the service of our Savior, Dolly. As you can see, I'm wearing my formal clerical vestments, my coat of many colors. But it's a little hot for that tonight, so I'm going to switch out to one of my other pieces of sacred items. I'm as a water genasi. One of my best things is creating a good brew. Fermenting goes a little easier if you can actually control the element of water itself. So y'all let me know if you get a little thirsty tonight, will you?
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is working for me. Let's see who else we have on deck. Is Z Goes Meep.
Hello, everybody. It is I. I'll be playing Sibilant Chur. That's my name because you can't actually pronounce my name unless you're merfolk. I am from, let's say, east and down of Mermadlandia. So on the edges, yes. I am a Triton. And I have a coelomorphic bloodline, which means sharks and rays. So all of my magic is towards kindly enticing people to join me beneath the waves, completely of their own free will, and dying a cold, lonely death.
Beautiful.
Wholesome fun.
I love it. As a mermaid fish lips, you're gonna make me talk like you, Priscilla. I am not a southern hick person, but I will say that your cold and my fire do cancel each other out wonderfully.
Yes.
No, but no party is complete without the token tank. And
we're distantly related cousins.
We are distant. I think we're all related. That is
we're all related.
Our token tank and himbo, and finally on this side of the game, give it up for Shakespeare Proves playing.
Oh, hello. I'm Ethelbert Merman. I am a captain of the guard in the service of Her Majesty Queen Morella in Mermadlandia.
It's just chuffed to have you here join us tonight. Oh,
Thank
just
you.
Do you mean you might be chum to see him?
Chum to death. I'm chum.
The blessings of Jesus be upon all of you. And always remember, if we cannot be chum, we can at least be excellent to each other.
I must say, Justin,
It's got a kind of ring to it.
You're going to have your hands
on
full
board it.
tonight. That is for sure.
Characters will, for sure. All right. You guys ready to get into this?
Indeed, Game Master.
I suppose.
No time like the
Let's
present.
dive right in, shall we?
Oh, the puns. All right. Welcome to MystMor Isle, a land of breathtaking contrasts and hidden mysteries. Here, towering mountains scrape the sky. Dense forests teem with life. Deep ravines whisper secrets, and small islands speckle the coastline like precious gems. The inhabitants of MystMor Isle live in relative harmony, with bustling cities and serene towns coexisting peacefully, save for the occasional tension between the nomads of the Mablands and the citizens of New York City. Yet a curious and mystic fog enshrouds the entire continent, a fog that is both impassable and impenetrable. Many have tried to venture beyond it, driven by the curiosity and promise of discovery, but none have succeeded. Those who attempt to brave the fog find themselves mysteriously turned around, emerging back where they began. In the heart of this enigmatic land lies New York City, the vibrant capital, a melting pot of cultures and the epicenter of civilization on MystMor Isle. It is a city rich and diverse and teeming with life, where the pulse of the continent beats strongest. Our story begins here, in New York City, in a place where many great tales are born, a humble bar. It is here, amidst the clinking of glasses and the murmur of conversations, that old friends reunite and new friendships are forged. Now, all of you have received word from a outreach Adventurers Needed from a historian called Arden Voss. Arden Voss is the historian that believes that you guys, or he believes that there is a great evil coming your way, as mentioned in the Adventures Needed post. You guys have answered the call. Did you guys answer the call as a group or separately and have met later?
Well, we're all distantly related, so one might presume that we are working together.
But we've
I
all
would
got
like to
different
think that
reasons.
I got. Go.
We've all got different reasons for being
Yeah,
here.
I found the summons on a drowned sailor. How he got that way is neither here nor there, but it seemed like something fun. A dark evil that's disappearing people. New bestie.
I've got nothing better to do.
I'm not evil. I need that.
Right.
I was told by Her Majesty, Queen Mamela, that I should represent her interests here upon the Landwalkers. And so I have come.
Well, all right. Well, I'll be right up front about it. I'm in it because some of us were born a little more opportunity than others. So if I seem to be looking at somebody in particular here, I'm sure that's, there's not much to it. Just to say, sometimes living in Moonshine Valley has its perks, and sometimes we need to make our own future.
Well, speaking of making things in Moonshine Valley, have you ever made Appa tuna tea? It is fantastic, and it always goes well with fantastic finger sandwiches.
I'm gonna cut the chat off right there. No, I am not making that tea.
I specialize in fermenting all kinds of stuff, and I'm part of an organization. Fermenting and fomenting. I'm part of an organization. It's called SPIT, the Syndicate of Piss Terrestrians. We brew the finest intoxicating substances for land dwellers, and maybe brew a bit of unrest as well. Not a lot of difference between fermenting and fomenting, if you get my drift.
Your drift has been gotten. I will ride that wave, darling.
Have you ever had fermented salmon?
Certainly. Only, the chefs prepare it at the castle.
That's a specialty of mine.
Fresh cod.
So as you guys continue to have your discussion, you walk up to the entrance of the Utter Drunkard. Utter spelled Udder, because we are in New York City, of course.
I love it.
You walk into the Utter Drunkard, and it's teeming with life. Right? It's probably one of the biggest taverns in New York City. There's a band playing off in the corner. There's servers running around everywhere. Barmaids slinging drinks, bringing out hot piping food to a very crowded bar. Who has the highest perception? Somebody give me a perception check.
Oh, I believe there will be dice rolling tonight.
I search the
Well.
key. Oh, it's not me.
Oh, my perception
I-
is low.
Do you have the ability to perceive things?
I mean, I certainly have the ability to perceive things.
Hold on, I
I
gotta pull it up.
But that
No,
time is not now.
I have negative
No worries,
rolls on my
we'll-
perception. My wisdom is only at an 8.
I rolled a 7 on perception. I think I'm just so enamored of all the ways that they are displaying their brewing equipment and their serving style that I just can't pay attention to nothing. You
I
can't
also
show me
rolled a
nothing.
7.
Why, clearly we are related, for I too have a 7.
777. I think we won something.
That makes us a 21 if we pool our resources, I guess.
Jack,
So
blackjack.
DM, we ain't seen nothing.
Well,
All right,
I
so-
rolled a 12, but with my -1, that becomes an 11.
7-Eleven,
it's-
I had some of my best days out there.
It's
So
time.
against all odds, Ethelbert is the one who sees the disheveled historian off in the corner with a very big for probably like 8-9 people, but it's just him. And he has a bunch of papers sprawled all over the table, just frantically kind of scratching his head and opening different scrolls, putting a mug on this one, coming over here. It rolls back. He gets frantic and tries to roll it back out. What do you do?
historically honorable man, may we be of assistance to you to at least bring order to your chaos.
So he doesn't see you at first. He's
I sit down
scrolling
next
on
to
something
him.
over here. Okay. As you sit down, he kind of jumps and says, okay.
Can we help?
Are you adventurers? Did you answer the call?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
You are adventurers, no?
What's the definition of an adventurer?
Some of us may not look like much, but yeah, we know how to handle ourselves.
The paper that I sent out, the message for adventurers needed. Did you receive that?
It's a little wet, but here you go.
Oh
Yeah.
dear. That seems to be the right thing. Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Next time, I highly recommend putting it in the bottle before you send it out.
That would be smart. I used the courier service and sent it to everywhere in the MystMor Isles. It seems that the ones who actually wanted to answer the call lived in water. That is noted. I will make a note of that for next time this may happen, which it won't, of course, because this will be rectified with you all. You see him kind of pep up by seeing 4 of you, not expecting anyone really to answer his call. So he kind of straightens himself up. He looks a little disheveled. Looks like he's sobering up from what seems to be a lot of drinks. There's mugs all over the table. It looks like he's been camped out at this spot for quite a while.
Well, you look about as confused as a fish on a mountain. What's going on?
No. I'm far from confused. I know the truth. I've seen what needs to be seen and what needs to be done for our land. You see, this town that we know of as New York City, it is built upon an ancient city. As you may know, I'm not sure if you're from Merbamblandia, but it's an ancient city of Sundar, and most of the technology in New York City comes from that ancient city. This is very common knowledge. But what people don't know, what they don't know, is that it is only an ancient city because they used a very powerful spell to remove an ancient evil from the land. They entombed a great necromancer underneath the island that we live on. And in doing so, they ruined their city. but
So if it was still here, would it be a new city? Would it be a new New York City?
That's kind of a stretch.
New New York City.
Yes, if it was still here, if they did not destroy their city.
It could be New York City.
I believe they would probably still call it Sundar. No, obviously
That
not
may-
picking up on what you're trying to say.
Very good. This makes
all right.
sense, history man.
So he kind of looks around, trying to find different papers to show you guys the evidence that he has. Here. He pulls out a scroll and he says, "This one." He shows you a piece of paper that has a bunch of writing on it that you guys don't understand. It looks like hieroglyphics. It's got little pictures on it.
I am excellent at reading and arcana and history.
You have to
These are
brag every sentence you
things that I
say.
very much enjoy.
Because
I
she
can't
had
help
only
it
the
if
best
all
tutors.
of my words are superior. So please do allow me to lay my eyes upon these.
You so good at reading, just tell us what it says. You don't have to make a whole production out of it.
Can I look at it?
But I do like some production. So if maybe you could sing this, that would be most excellent.
Don't get
I
her
do more
started.
poetry than anything else. Your girl rolled very well. So, oh yeah, that would be a 24.
Wow. Okay.
I rolled really well.
It's not a 20 on the die though, right?
No.
Okay.
It was a 19.
Gotcha. So you look at the piece of paper, and it's not a writing that you're familiar with, but you can kind of understand based on some of the pictures that are accompanying it, and some of the writing is similar to other languages that you know. So you pick up that it looks like an artifact from Sundar that Arden may have stumbled upon, or based on everything that you see on the table, he may have collected in his previous findings on previous expeditions. And on that paper, it basically doesn't say a lot. It's really more of an accompaniment to other pieces, but it talks about how there was these creatures that the necromancer would raise from the dead, and these creatures were not very powerful, but powerful enough to take people in numbers. So if there was a lot of them, that they would kind of mob on top of somebody and take them away. They were really good at kind of like snatch and grab, and that's kind of what this paper's talking about. Is like, beware of the thrall. That's kind of the message that you get from this whole thing.
I'd like to write
sort
a
of what you
poem
make
based on the information that I have gleaned.
Oh my God. Dolly, save me.
They were once dead, but now they move en masse towards you. Beware the thrall, guys. Would you like to hear it again?
Yes, please.
I would have liked it. It's informative and catchy.
That was pretty nice, actually. I liked it.
Thank you. I do specialize in poetry. Do you have any other information you would like to give us?
So you can read this scroll?
One might say I was able to gather the gist of the scroll.
Okay, so you believe me then?
Was that an option?
Most people don't believe in this information. It's the one thing that people don't agree with me on. Up until this point of my career, I have been a notable historian, and now people just refuse to see the truth. This is the truth. We are in grave danger of this great evil coming back. You see, he grabs another piece of paper and it has
Who's
the
we?
figure of like a.
I don't
Right?
care. I'm just here to blow things up.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
Is this great evil only coming for humans?
My insight's just 13, so.
So insightful.
You don't think he's lying. You just think he's either very right or very, very wrong.
He's
But
cutting edge or he's French, depending on what side of the line you're on.
it feels like he believes what he's talking about for sure. There's no reason to doubt him.
I mean, if you're telling
Do I
me
believe
there's
that there's
something-
going to be some
Oh,
money
yeah.
at the end of all this?
Yes, of course. There was a reward promised. I cannot give you the reward immediately, but I promise that the reward will be far more worth it than anything you have ever done once this is over.
I don't doubt that.
Not
Should
only
we
will you
survive,
be-
of course.
That time will tell. It is a race against time, truly, because this evil is coming back sooner than anyone knows it. And we must stop it before that happens. Because you see, if the necromancer is released, that will be the end of this island that we know.
So just to be clear, there's a necromancer. He has a lot of malevolent entities working for him that live in the dark and snatch people.
This is correct.
Okay, well, I see that as somebody treading on my aesthetic. So yeah, I feel like he has to go.
You
Kinda-
wouldn't happen to know how flammable they are, would you?
Flammable. Well, they are usually thralls are usually made from the dead bodies of those that they take. You see, the everything that I've read about the necromancer, he takes these people that the thralls bring to him, and he turns them into more thrall. That's how he has amassed his army. And that is why the ancient city of Sundar had to stop him.
One more question, follow up, if I may. Is there
Please.
anything that you would like not burned down?
Anything that I would not like burned down?
Yes.
Is that's
This
that
is
a
an
real
important question.
If you need specifics, probably not this bar or the city. Maybe anything thrall or necromancer related, you're more than welcome to burn down. Outside of that, probably nothing.
I'm in. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
As long as there's going to
Yes.
be some kind of compensation, I'm good.
You have your hand raised?
Yes,
Do you have a question?
honorable history man. My question for you is, if the city must be destroyed and sacrificed again as the new New York City, or the new Sindar, or Mu Sindar, as one might approach it, as the ancients did of old in their ancient times, would that be acceptable to you, so long as we are able to preserve your bar?
I don't think I am at liberty to make those decisions. We could ask the mayor if she's fine with that.
I'll allow you to make inquiries on our behalf. Is there anything else we should know before we go burn things down? I mean,
I can
investigate.
I can explain more along the way. So
You'll be joining us.
yes, of course. We have to figure out how to stop this thing, and I think I am probably the one best equipped to do so. You all will be handling any dangers that we find ourselves in. That's why I've hired you in the first place. or asked you to come here first. Of course, no payment is exchanged hands yet. I am aware of that. But again, you will be paid. You will be paid. Don't worry about that. Kind of chuckles to himself. All right. So he starts to pull all of his papers together and shoving them back into a bag. Okay. The first thing that we need to do, we do need to go see the mayor. She's the only one that still refuses to cut ties with me. She's a dear friend, and she has graciously given us leeway to make our way into the cave system where I think that this anomaly is happening. So if you'll accompany me to go see the mayor, we can get the green light for this adventure, and we can be on our way. Does this sound all right with you?
I've got nothing better to do.
As our savior Dolly said, if you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one.
I hope you love quaint adages. There's going to be a lot of them.
I love that Dolly is a deity in this world now.
You know she is.
Every world, really, let's be honest.
I just want to say, I thought my hair was doing something really cool and going off screen, but it's just the letters.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Okay, so Arden gets everything packed up. He starts to head out the bar. He's moving rather quickly. He exits the bar and then quickly comes back in and says, "Are you all coming? Are we going?"
Of course.
Lead the way.
Okay, great. So he takes off again. Rather quick pace. He's like, kind of like power walking through the mall type of situation. He leads you all to the mayoral office, where he gets to the front door. There's guards standing at the front door. He's chit-chatting with them a little bit, and then they open the doors for him. As you walk in, you go into the mayor's chambers, and there sits another half-elf. I don't think I explained that, actually. So Arden is a half-elf historian, half-elf features. Rosa is very similar in said features. She is sitting behind her desk. As Arden walks in, he says to her, "Yes, Rosa, I have adventurers that have answered the call. These great warriors here will take us into the cave system where I believe the anomaly to be." And he kind of stands back to the side and like presents you all.
Is that your cousin? For you two look remarkably similar.
No, we're not cousins. That would be silly.
You
We
think
look
all
nothing
half-elves
alike.
look alike? Are you saying you think all half-elves look alike?
It is very difficult at times to
All
distinguish
land
from
dwellers look alike.
Yeah.
Well, y'all need to spend a little bit more time on the surface.
No, thank you.
I assumed that all of them were related as coming from a common ancestor, as Jaws has decreed.
I
So,
don't think
Rosa-
they came from shark ancestry.
Rosa looks up from the table, hears you all bantering, and she goes, yes. Arden, I see you've brought more capable adventurers.
More?
How many have there been?
Arden responds, "Well, of course, I've been on many adventures in my time. I am a tenured historian, you see. This is not my first adventure. This is one of dozens of adventures that we've had. Not this adventure. You're in relatively no harm, I would assume. But everything that I've shown you that was on the table before, those are from previous adventures, you see. It's just that people that have gone on these adventures with me, they don't believe the things that I tell them. They think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy." And then Rosa responds to him, It's all right. It's all right, Arden. Yes, he's been on many adventures, and they've all turned fruitful. And this one just seems a bit far-fetched, I assume, for most people to grasp. But you're here, and that is great. So, yes, if this is something that Arden wants to do, we are in debt to Arden, so we will let him take this adventure. She hands you guys little pins to put on your clothing that basically shows that you're allowed to move about any parts of the city. Sort of like how the guards have these same little pins that you kind of clocked walking in. So she hands those to Arden. Arden hands them out to you guys. And she continues
Yay!
talking.
Jewelry. I love
So
it.
now
Thank
we
you.
are in law enforcement.
Not exactly law enforcement. You have free reign to move about the city and some of the outskirts of the city where there's more danger ahead. So if there's guards in the way, this lets you pass them without much trouble.
Ah, total immunity. Thank you.
Not total immunity. No, I don't think I ever said that.
I've heard
Never
you
been
call
That's
it.
all right.
Are you sure these adventurers are the ones you want to take? Yes, of course. They are the adventurers I want to take. They are
Never been
perfectly
on this side
capable.
of the law.
We will be fine. Thank you so much for your time, Rosa. He starts to kind of push you guys out the door before she decides to take your access away.
As our savior Dolly says, the way I see it, you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Blessed be.
I mean, I love a
Yo-
good rainstorm. Makes it
Are you?
slightly easier to drown people.
You know, that's not actually a very helpful thing to do for them. I mean, occasionally lives must be taken in the service of your queen or to spread the word of Jarzus. However, we should try to make friends.
Oh, I have friends.
Oh, very good then.
It's hard to be a diamond in a rhinestone world.
Unless you're actually a diamond. But do carry on, person.
So, as you guys continue to leave the mayoral office, you hit the front door. As you start to walk down the steps, you see Rosa rush out the front door and say, yes, sorry, Arden, before you go," she kind of pulls him back to the side, and they're talking sort of in a hushed tone, and you see him kind of exchange pleasantries. She hands him what basically looks like kind of like a payment, or like an allowance, if you will. And then she kind of gives him a hug that lingers for a little bit. And then as they kind of break apart, they kind of look in each other's eyes for a minute before Arden breaks away and comes back to you guys. All right, are we ready to continue?
Hey now,
Yes.
what was all that then? What was that?
What was what? She was just saying goodbye.
well, y'all look
And-
like you're a little sweet on each other.
So I do not know. I do not know what you're talking about. Surely, no. Rose is just a dear
No.
friend. She's just a dear friend.
Yeah.
Right? Well, yeah, as our savior Dolly said, we can't just hope for a brighter day. We got to work for a brighter day, if you know what I mean.
You
No.
will have to tell me more of this Dolly person.
You know I
creature.
will.
Oh, good. This is what I can't wait for.
There was-
Dolly Jaws' fight off.
There was a remix of that particular gospel that might also be said that if you like it, put a ring on it.
That's right.
At least he's pretty.
I'm not opposed to fins with benefits, if that's what you
Fins
do
with
prefer.
benefits? Did you say
Fins
fins
with
with
benefits.
benefits?
Fins,
Fins
yes.
with benefits.
Fins
She
with
knows
benefits.
what's up. All right, no, you get a high five for that one.
Yes, go the opposite way of what seems natural. Like this. I'm going this way.
Okay.
No, turn that way. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Hi, Finn. Hi, Finn. hyphen. There we
Did
have
it right the first time.
We are so good at this.
60% of the time.
We've only
This
been doing
works
this how
every
many years?
time.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
figured it out.
So Arden tries to play that off and tries to divert back to the mission. We really should be going. You could tell me about Dolly along the way. So he heads down the stairs and goes back towards the tavern. I do have to do one quick thing before we go. Talk amongst yourselves.
yay.
I'll
Okay.
just be really quick. I'm just gonna pop back into the bar. I forgot something, and I'll be back. Talk about yourselves. So he
I
darts
can't
back
help
into the
but
bar.
notice he's being sketchy as heck.
Oh, I totally follow him.
What makes you think he is not on the level? He said he forgot something, and thus we should believe him.
He's very twitchy. Are all half elves twitchy like this on land?
I imagine
Clearly
it's a
he
racial
needs
trait.
drink.
Hmm.
Yeah, if he needs a drink. That's why I went back in the bar.
Certainly, one must steady one's nerves. I do understand.
Right. It's my
Now
specialty.
that I do feel a little parched myself, so mayhap one would consider going back into the establishment for some liquid refreshment. I go back in.
Okay.
I order a very large cocktail.
I'd stick to the
So-
shadows and people and try to like stealthily follow him. I do
Uh,
it freak out.
as you walk back in, you see Arden at the bar with the same, what looks like the same amount of money that he got from Rosa. And he's handing it to the guy behind the bar, the bartender, you would assume.
That's right.
and
You
the bar-
always pay your bartenders.
Are you saying that loud enough for him to hear?
Oh God, am
General
I?
to the world.
That's right.
Fourth
You see
wallness.
this guy? You got to pay your bartenders. I think probably I do shout it.
It is always an honorable thing to do, and very
Right.
excellent.
You gotta
see.
reward your bartenders. It's
If Arden
important.
hears you. Oh, he does hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Ah!
So he as he's sliding the money over to the bartender's kind of looking at him sternly. He hears you and he turns and kind of like very, very quickly pushes all the money over to the side and turns around and like awkwardly leans on the bar and, oh, hi, I told you guys to wait outside. What brings you back in here?
We're not very good at following directions.
Also,
Except for
I-
me,
Problem?
I'm excellent at it.
Except
I was
him,
a little on the thirsty side of life. And I
ironically.
just wanted to get a little something to drink.
Oh, sure, yes. I have a full tab here. You can order whatever you like.
Already
the
have.
bartender-
Thank you.
Bartender kind of looks crossedly at him like, okay. Turns to you and goes, sure. What'll you have?
Salt water with tuna juice.
That's a favorite in
water
our
with
part.
tuna juice? I can't say that we normally get that kind of request here. All right. He goes to the back for a minute. It's a kind of a long, awkward pause between everybody before he comes back. He comes back with like a mason jar.
Ooh.
Very, very cloudy looking. Sits in front of you, kind of slides it in your direction. That's the best I can do. It is salt water. I don't know if it's tuna juice. It's juice from the fish that we prepared earlier. So
I do appreciate your humble effort.
Not bad.
And I would like to tip you generously. So add another 10 gold to the bar tab.
Arden kind of pats you on the back. Oh, that's very, very generous. I do appreciate the willingness to tip the bar staff here. We don't need to be here much longer. Let's head out.
Oh,
Thank you,
but I have not yet.
Ferdinand, for your hospitality.
Ferdinand, before we go, could we please have a round of normal human alcohol drinks, please? For myself and all of my friends. For we would like to know of your ways.
Oh, yes, certainly. I would be willing to try your cool and refreshing beverage.
Right. It's not like we're all here for an adventure or anything.
This is
Not gonna get
part of
drunk at
it.
the bar.
This is part of the adventure.
I
Getting
mean,
to
you
know.
know, my favorite part of any adventure is when we get to start off with a good old drink. So, to your
I
health.
do prefer blowing things up, but I will allow it.
Ferdinand kind of gives like a side sly grin to Arden. He says, "Sure, this is all on Arden's tab, yes."
Of course.
That's what he said.
Arden is most generous and definitely has a thing for some other half elf in the city hall. It's adorable. I think she's his sugar mama, which I completely approve.
That would explain how Arden can spend so much time here, but still always seem to pay his tab. Arden is like visibly sweating now, just very, very uncomfortable. So Ferdinand goes back to the back, starts getting the drinks ready, and Arden's just kind of fidgeting, like, yeah, that's great that you all want to try the Cuban drinks. You've never had the beers here before?
Here?
Well, anyway, on land, I suppose.
Well,
Of
I've
course
tried a
we
little
have.
bit of everything, but you ain't
Yeah.
had nothing until you've tried some of my moonshine.
Are you asking me to try your moonshine?
That's right.
There's
Here you
illegal
go.
alcohol into an alcohol establishment. I love it.
Well, you know I never
all
go
right.
anywhere without my own bottle. All right,
It
here
is
you
a
are. Open up.
sacred sacrament. You really must consider. You could never
Are you-
leave anywhere.
Are you just gonna pour it in his mouth?
That's right. Yeah. Well, I'm as a genasi, I have a little bit of I got shape water. So I'm just gonna kind of water bend it up and over into his mouth.
Okay.
I adore it.
I love a party
I'm
trick.
it's gonna be a double.
All right. So, all right. Let me roll
I
some
can
things
only
here.
manage jiggers and doubles.
Okay. He does see that coming, so he kind of prepares himself, almost like a funnel. So he kind of gets down and like
Like a luge.
It's
Yes.
shape water. I can just kind of move it.
He's kind of trying to prepare for it, so it's not awkward for him. So he takes a drink of it. Let's see. Okay, all right. Yeah, he as soon as he takes a big gulp of it, he kind of. Oh wow, that is very strong. Yes, that's is great. Is a hint of what is that? Anchovies?
One of my specialties. We also put jalapenos in it too.
Ah, that's where the note of spiciness comes from.
Look
It's,
like we needed to pour yourself a cup of ambition.
It is delicious. Roll insight again for me.
All right, coming right up. Hold on, it's
Nope.
under here and right there, and that's a 14 that time.
My insight with my -1, I got a 15. So
Wow.
I'm hoping I'm not wasting all of my dice rolls tonight.
Never wasting them in a bar. You.
Oh, and King
you
of the
notice-
Species just helped me out. King, right in the
I
comments.
don't know what OTE means. OTE.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, anybody know what?
Yeah.
Over the expanse.
oh. Mm.
Over the expanse of the great water, there is an OTE.
Oh, that's the gothic horror over the edge.
Oh, over the end.
Oh.
Okay, I still appreciate he spent some points on me.
So you definitely notice that Arden thinks this is terrible.
Thank you.
He thought this alcohol was absolutely vile, but he's trying very hard not to offend you by saying that it's great.
He is a good man.
Aw,
He kind of
that's sweet of
turns and
him.
yes.
Kind
Ferdinand,
of
do
a
you
kick
have
in the
those
gut.
beers coming?
Kicking the
No,
gut
it
all the
was
way down, isn't it?
it was great. It was wonderful. I liked it.
Hey,
But the beers, you must try the beer here. This is a great local pub that supplies the beer here. To that, almost as if on cue, Ferdinand comes back out with a large platter full of beer. He brought everybody two,
Oh,
to
no.
Arden's dismay. So he hands out all the beers, and Arden takes the beers and goes, "Really? You had to give everyone two?" And he goes, "Well, she ordered a double, so I figured everyone wanted a double." Yeah, thank you very much, Ferdinand. I appreciate that.
Oh, this is terrible.
Why does it have bubbles?
It's very similar to water, I'm finding.
Mm. 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 Mm.
yeah.
This is terrible.
This is
However,
what-
I thank you for your kindness.
This is
And
what
I will
people
finish it.
drink?
Do you have a straw?
Try some more.
Sorry, 1 second. There's a disturbance in the force.
It's not me.
That'd be me.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's not
Okay.
too terrible.
Sorry, got minor distraction to the side. What was the last thing that was said?
Is it a baby or a dog?
It's a toddler. Yes.
I did ask for a straw, but that's fine. I brought my own.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe people. I'm going to get uncomfortably close to Arden. Thank you so much for the drink. It was unusual. You can have the rest of mine.
Oh, thank you very much. Why are you so cold? As he kind of pulls farther
Why
away
are
from
you
you.
so hot?
Oh,
That's the question.
I suppose that's a
believe-
fair question.
I'm seeing something here. Can you feel the fire, the sparks? And she like holds up her hand and little sparks of fire happen on her fingertips.
Now, he did
And she
say
starts fanning herself.
specifically not to burn down this bar. You remember that?
Yes. If you could please restrain from burning down anything in New York City, that would
She
be.
puts her hand out in the cup.
I forgot
what?
to ask. I forgot to ask your mayoral girlfriend if,
No, she's not my girlfriend. We're just very good
course.
friends.
of course, yes, the Finns with benefits. I forgot to ask her if we must destroy the city in order to save the world, except for this bar for you, if she would be all right with that.
You
I
did
forgot
forget
to-
to ask that.
I forgot to ask that.
We'll have to ask that when we come back. I assume she would not really care for that to happen.
I assume she would also not care and rather prefer to destroy evil once and for all.
Yes, let's carry on with that assumption.
Yes.
And we can just double check when we come back if that's what she prefers.
Yes.
So you spend a little more time finishing off your beverages. Arden downs his fairly quickly.
You're gonna want that.
I'd
All right, y'all.
refrain from
Let's
burning
get on with it.
anything else down. But I do inquire if you would like to see any sort of pyrotechnic demonstration. I'm certainly happy to oblige.
I would love to see those if we run into some thralls along the way.
I would love to perform them.
All right, if we're all finished with our drinks here, would we like to continue forward with the adventure?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
So
Fine.
Arden leads you out of the bar and leads you out of New York City. As you're leaving, if you've been to New York City before, none of it's really any surprise to you. But there's a very large tower, skyscraperish in nature. There's also a very big area called the Grand Bazaar. And as you're going, Arden kind of talks through this, just wanting to share knowledge as he does as a historian. As you're walking past these things, he'll say, "Oh, yes, it's the Sundari Tower, named after the city that used to be here. It's of great import to the city. This is where most of the energy of this city comes from. Little fun fact most people don't know is renewable energy comes from this tower. It is capable of fully energizing the whole city. It's quite a marvelous feat that we still have not figured out how this happens. Over there's the Grand Bazaar. It's virtually anything that you want to buy, you can buy it there. Even probably things from your precious Mermablandia, as you are one of the greatest import-export partners that we have." As you continue to walk, he's droning on and on and on about all the different things. You make it towards the outskirts of the city, and there's a guard checkpoint there. The guards kind of stop for a second, and you can't. Oh, all right. Yes, you can go past. That seems to be the seal of the mayor.
I'm wearing bling.
My jewelry has often allowed me to pass many entrances.
Does everyone have their seals visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Greeting,
Get them
fellow
on.
law enforcement person.
I'm starting to
yes.
get an idea of why the queen sent you.
Probably because I am loyal and
Yes.
hardworking.
So are you wearing the attire of like a law enforcement person from Mermamlandia?
I'm wearing the garb of the royal guard.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the guards here will kind of take note of that and sort of salute you.
I give them a full fin salute as well.
Aw.
So they'll step out of the way to let you guys through. So you leave the city, and Arden takes you down this path that is it's lit on the sides, and it's so when you got to New York City, it was about sunset, and now that you've spent a little bit of time here, the sun is starting to hit that like golden hour where it's very, very yellow across the sky, still being able to see, but you can tell that darkness is pretty close behind. You walk through this path that goes into a wooded area, and then that wooded area lasts for a good 30 minutes or so, and then it opens up into this sort of oasis looking area. The trees kind of part around what looks like a dip that goes down into like a small pond, maybe a really small lake of sorts, and a very large waterfall cascading down from the top
I
of it.
like it.
It's a pretty wide waterfall, so the waterfall leads into this watery area, and Arden actually leads you down towards the water. And he's explaining as you're walking through it. He says, "This is where we will find the cave that we are looking for."
Well, I do love the ambiance.
It is really lovely.
It is truly a
yeah,
cave of many wonders.
So oddly enough, as you guys are walking around this water area here, you don't see any kind of cave entrance or anything. Arden just continually keeps walking in the direction of the waterfall.
I'm
Arden,
unfazed. It could
Is
be
it
underwater.
behind the waterfall? Is it in the water? Could you give us a little clue?
I'm happy you asked. Clearly wanting to show off the discovery of this.
Do tell.
He pulls out a book, flips a couple pages, taps the book with his hand, and then like wafts his hand towards the waterfall. And as he does, the waterfall towards probably halfway down arcs out and opens, parting in basically half to an open cave, just a large open
Oh,
hole.
Mermab, you should have that installed in your bedroom.
I do adore it. It is quite a lovely feature. Who is the architect?
Are you asking me who's the architect?
Well, I certainly don't know.
Yes, you seem to have
I-
knowledge of this.
I don't think this was manufactured. I think this is natural.
Lovely.
Okay.
It's got an amazing aesthetic. Let us continue.
Did you say amazing? All right.
Amazing. We're on a roll. All right.
All right, so Arden leads you into the cave system. As caves are, it's noticeably cooler in here, especially with the waterfall being the front door of this place, right? So you go into this cave system, and then as you pass through the waterfall, Arden just kind of goes back to like he puts his book back and everything, and then the waterfall kind of collapses with an audible, clap of the water hitting back together, and it's very dark after that. Can you all see in the dark?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay.
Only
perfect.
humans suck.
Just for brevity, it's kind of Arden's shtick to make it very very grandiose. So he pulls out a torch and lights the torch and kind of holds that forward as a true adventurer would. He's very much about the showmanship here.
That is quite lovely. I do love what you've done with this.
My eyes were starting to adjust, but now, okay. Right.
So
She goes to reach out just to touch the torch a little bit.
Behave yourself.
would you like to hold the torch? You could.
No,
lead
thank
the
you.
way
I
if
can make
want.
my own. She makes a little fire in her hand.
All right, I suppose that's fine. There's no use for this. He seems a little disappointed with that.
No, don't put it out.
All right, look, my
That's
second
good.
choice was to go with anglerfish mermaid, and now I'm sad. It's a little light, like dangling in front of my head.
All right, if you insist. He
I
continues to
do.
hold the torch.
Please
I do.
keep it up.
So this is as far as I made it into this cave system. I discovered this based on the notes that I had for this place, and I did not want to venture any far forward in case of danger. So here we are. He kind of walks a little bit farther and holds the torch out to illuminate that there's a fork here where it branches off two different directions. So I'm not sure which way you would like to go. It's
Death
up
comes
to you
from the
all
left.
where you would like to go. So you lead the way, and he kind of purposely situates himself towards the back of the pack.
All right. I will hold out my spear, my shield in my left hand, my spear in my right, and I will go in the front.
It's all right by me.
All right.
So
All
we're
right,
just
so
gonna. We're
I
just gonna.
must inquire what. Oh, I do apologize for talking over you, darling Drusilla.
I'm used to it.
At what point do you believe that we have the authority to make the decision for which direction to go? One would assume that you would have the knowledge that we would need.
The only thing that I know of this cave system is that it exists. I don't know any more about this cave system beyond this point. So I'm merely here to observe and support whatever we find. And I can help along the way if we find something notable. But from here, I have no idea what to do.
Well, maybe we can wait to see if we get some divine inspiration. Like I'm feeling some of us, some pulling us to the right, and I'm feeling some pulling us to the left. So perhaps we can get a little bit more inspiration coming. You picking up what I'm putting down? You smelling what I'm stepping in?
I need you to stop just listing directions. Up, down, left, right. Let's just go that way.
Will cast a firebolt down
But
the left.
if you like spin around 8 times and then just shoot it off and see where it goes.
Well, I cast it to the one channel
Okay.
and listen.
Okay. You hear the sound of the air dissipating around your firebolt as it down the cave to the left. You hear it disappear. It gets quieter and quieter as it goes.
So it keeps going.
That's it.
So that seems like a pretty fairly straight passage, and I will cast firebolt down the right passage.
It always dries my skin out when you do that.
How far can your firebolt go? Do you know?
Believe firebolt 120 feet.
Okay. Very, very similarly, you don't really hear it end.
Well, I did what I could.
Well, let's.
I still vote left.
Left sounds fine to me. They seem to be exactly the same as far as I can tell.
Are there any differences between these two passages?
One's left and one's right.
If you want to start moving forward into one, I can explain more of that. So if you guys want to go towards the left one, you notice that it starts to incline.
Ooh.
So as you're going, it's going up.
I don't like this.
Well, remember, if we go up now, when we come back, we'll be going down again.
Oh.
But I believe, did we not wish to go down into the ground where the
Maybe.
dead men lie?
I'm a fan of down.
Maybe this one also goes up before it goes down. Much like having to climb the stairs to go down the fireman pole.
I just take off going. I'm going to head down the left lane. Just head on down. No looking back.
Well, someone should go with me.
All right.
I look at
So you can continue down the left path? Okay.
Yeah. And if it makes me feel better, I will periodically fire off a firebolt. It's just fun.
As our Savior Dolly says, you'll never do a whole lot unless you're brave enough to try.
So you continue down this cave side, and it's steadily going uphill.
I thought we were going to the downhill one.
Nope.
Is there a downhill one?
I just
nope,
took
we're
off.
going up.
Oh no. I don't think you
There's
guys
a lot of help.
decided to check out the right one, so you don't know whether it also goes up or down.
This is so much up.
It steadily
Here,
continues to steadily
you
go
need a
up,
drink?
and then as you're continuing to go up, it forks again. Both seeming to both go up. Maybe the left side more steeply than the right side does.
I give up.
Maybe we should go back to the original fork and then see if that one goes down.
All right.
Well,
I never go back, darling. It detracts from the now.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe we all just need to sit down and think about something, and because I confess, to our dear Arden, there's a time and a place for us to all have a time
And Blake.
to make confessions to the screen. Anybody picking up what I'm putting down here?
I believe I am understanding what you are saying. So
Right.
let us just pause for a moment of reflection and go with some confessions. Let's start with
I tell you what, when I agreed to go on this adventure with my cousins, part of me was a little bit happy because you gotta, as our dear Savior Dolly says, you never ignore your roots, your home, or your hair. So reconnecting with these ladies is on the one hand it's been nice, but on the other hand, man, I'm so glad I didn't forget to bring my drink.
Hello. I am sorry if my existence is not excellent, noble, or sublime. However, if I could do one thing for this party, it would be to lay down my life for them. If I could do a second thing for this party, I would probably also sing them a song, but I am not very good at singing. And so I am content to lay down my life. But that is the first thing.
So I have been forced to reflect upon the situation at hand, and I have decided to write a poem. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
To the left or to the right, I don't really care either way.
No, I like that one.
I just want to burn it down. Would you like to hear it again?
Yes, please.
To the left or to the right?
So this is what I get for being bored, really. But I thought, it'd be nice to spend some time with the other black sheep of the family. I forget how weird they are. But at least that ardent fellow seems tasty.
Well, they got me this far, so I hope we can continue down the path and find this great evil. And I certainly hope I don't get eaten along the way. That cold one does seem to take a liking to me.
Don't forget the hot one.
Before we move on with our next part of the adventure, everyone, we would like to thank all of you, our viewers, and our Patreon saints. If you join our Patreon, you can get special rewards, including joining the once a month Patreon game. And so to all of you who allow us to do all of this, we raise our glasses of terrible human beer and we say, huzzah.
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
Tuna juice.
Tuna juice. Not a euphemism. Hashtag.
Not a euphemism.
So are we not going backward down to the original fork, but rather forging ahead, choosing another left or right fork?
No, I think we were going to go back to the original fork and just see where the right goes. Just see if it goes down.
All right, very
All
good.
right,
Correct?
you're in charge.
Oh.
All right, you're in charge.
Wait, who me?
All of these options.
I made a choice. I was going
You're in charge.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to double back just to see where the other fork in the road went.
All right. Let's. Well, we might as well. All right. So let's
right, so you-
trump back on down.
So you double back, and you're going to go to the right this time, yeah?
Let's
Correct.
do it.
All right. You head down the right tunnel, and this tunnel goes for a while, and it eventually comes to an abrupt end where there is a rubble pile, a cave-in. Let's get some perception checks.
Oh, good.
All right.
19.
Yeah, the most.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
17, excuse me. 17, not 19. I go backward.
Ooh, I got an actual 19. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
I got a 12.
I got an actual 17.
Nice.
I still apparently am just paying attention to other things. Mostly trying to figure out how to get Arden to the pool outside.
Besides Sib, who is still eyeing what she wants to season Arden with, the rest of you notice there's a draft coming from the top of this cave-in, of this rubble pile. There's a small, medium-ish hole at the very top that looks like it has been pulled. Like the rocks in that top section have been pulled away.
Ooh.
Allow me to refresh my own memory with your words. Tell me again, is this the other fork?
Mhm.
The right fork?
We went
Go
down
a
the
little
right
bit.
fork, and we
And
ran
there's
into a cave-in, and there's a rubble pile. But some of us, so I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I'm getting a whiff of air from above the rubble
Hmm.
pile. Do you notice that? You picking up what I'm putting down?
Query.
M-
Did the
Hmm?
rocks look like they're pulled from this side or like they're pulled from the other side?
Roll an investigation check.
All right.
Can I please roll a something else? Okay, here we go. Anything
Animal handling.
else? 13.
That's good enough. Yeah. So it looks like there is a couple of rocks that have fallen on your side, the side that you're standing on, but there's not enough rocks on the ground on this side to account for the hole that's at the size of the hole at the top of this rubble pile. So you assume that it's from the other side.
All right. I let you all know that I have done some geologic mathing.
Hmm.
You know, that's a good point.
Look at the
well,
size
do we
of your
wanna-
brain, cousin.
Do we want to try
Gealgebra
to make
was my worst subject in school.
Gealgebra? Yeah.
a gealgebra?
Gealgebra.
Gealgebra.
Fascinating.
Well, do
Is
we
it-
want to
is
try
that
to clear a bit more space? so we can
Fireball.
try to
No,
make-
wait. I mean,
No.
firebolt.
Yes. Mind your words. You made that decision before, and poor Uncle Eddie was never the same.
I'm happy to
Fireball.
go. I'm happy to move rocks on behalf of my brethren in kindred. I will go and do this.
So
And mage
Well,
hand.
stand back just a bit. Let her do the firebolt, and then we can.
order
He's
of
already at it.
operations. Mermab, roll an attack on the rocks with your firebolt.
I attack the rocks.
We'll see how well it does.
Yeah, does an 8 hit?
Yeah, an eight will hit. How much damage do you do?
Okay, all right. I was apprehensive on that one.
You're gonna hit the broadside of a barn next.
That would be 6 damage to the rocks.
Okay. It's a wall of rocks, right? You can't really miss it unless you rolled a 1. That would have been very fun. So you said how much damage? 6?
6.
So you make a sizable hole underneath the hole that was already there that causes a little bit of a chain reaction. So the size of the hole doubles in size. So you have a hole that's probably the height of, let's say, a dwarf.
We can shimmy through there.
Yeah, we can fit.
Now, immediately after that, Ethelbert, are you going to strong arm the rocks?
Yes, I believe I will, for I do not believe that my cousins should have to lower themselves to lowering themselves.
All right, so a couple of things. Let's do an investigation check first.
All right. I have a natural 10.
Okay, that's okay. You can still move the rock, so just roll. Let's do an athletics check.
Very good. I have a +5 on that. So that would be a
You would have
23.
a good plus on that. 23. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So you
It is the opposite
gonna-
of my wisdom score.
Can I assist him with athletics of 17?
Yeah. You want to move
Alright.
the rocks as well?
Yeah, I'm not too good to use my muscles for stuff.
Okay. So Ethelbert, you rush in and you kind of just like smash through the right hand side, and then Drusilla, you in kind take his lead and smash through the left hand side, and you make you double the hole that's already been doubled, so it's a pretty wide berth now that's easily navigable now.
All right. Do we see anything on the other side of the rubble pile?
So as you open this rubble pile, it's the rocks are strewn all about this area, and the cave starts to widen. As it widens, you see 3 more tunnels ahead of you.
Oh,
Now
it was hard
the
enough to
tunnels
choose
here,
between two.
the tunnels here are actually interesting because they are not side by side. There is one that is noticeably larger in the center that you can see that it goes down, and then the other 2 are more sort of at like this level that you're walking on. And they're sort of the same size and shape of the ones that you previously came through. So it's left and right are normal, what look like normal tunnels. The center one looks like it's not dug out, but like immediately divoted down towards the middle.
Well, I know which way you want to go.
I
would like to also go down. I will cast a small firebolt down the downward path just to, kind of light the way a little bit and listen for screams or anything like that.
Okay. So you, as you're doing this, roll a perception check.
Allow me to. Ooh, I do perceive. That'd be 17, sir.
Okay. So as you cast the firebolt down this larger cavern, you see it illuminating all sides of this cave as it goes down. And probably, about 40, 50 feet down as it goes, the illumination disappears at the bottom. So it's lit up on the top, on the sides, and then it's just darkness underneath it as it continues. And then you see it illuminate again, probably another 20 feet past that.
Right.
Now keep in mind, you had to shoot it down at probably a 20, 25 degree decline. So it was already going down. And then as it went down, the bottom part was just, there was nothing for it to bounce the light off of.
It looks like there may be a bottomless pit in our future. And by bottomless, I just mean it goes down. And I'm not aware of the bottom.
Well, let's go
You
take a
did
closer
see it
look.
pick back up. So it was 20 feet where the bottom was dark. And then your
Right.
fireball.
There's a
went back
part
up
of it
after
that is non-reflective.
Yep.
I like that
Right.
bit. That bit says unnatural horror.
Very
Or
well.
at the very least, a pit of despair and
A pit within a
darkness.
pit. Okay, how do we get down though? It's not straight down, it's an incline, but it's a really steep incline, right?
Oh, it's not
Steep.
that steep.
Yeah, steep-ish. You can still walk down that part. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
you
wants
just
to
use
go
them
see why the
legs.
light doesn't reflect?
Let's go and take a look. That's the most interesting thing that's happened since we got here.
I concur.
I'll
Let
take the
us.
lead.
Okay.
Don't fall. Do we have rope?
Why would I have net?
I have rope.
Then perhaps.
I have rope as well.
Well, look at you, Johnny on the spot. We should all lash ourselves to each other.
I'd
Very
like to
good.
tie
Whatever.
myself to Ardent.
You do what? Did you say you tie yourself to Arden?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Are you actually? Are you doing it now? Okay.
Yes.
I would like to be second, please.
You are right behind me then.
I have your back. And should
And
it
you-
ever get cold, I will warm it for you.
Thank you. And you have my sword and my shield to protect you with my good shield arm and my good sword. But I'm not holding my sword. I'm actually holding my spear.
I got this.
All right. So marching order is Ethelbert, Mermab, Drusilla, and then Sib lashed to Arden.
We are
Arden
all
is.
tied together, to be clear.
Oh, you tied
Indeed.
yourselves together?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I
Right,
missed
we're
that
all
part.
tied together
To
in
be
case somebody
fair,
falls on
only
down that
one
hall.
of us is in danger of drowning if we should all go down.
We
I
need a
can't-
reminder that you cannot breathe water.
I cannot help but think that was targeted towards me. All right, we've gone this far, so I guess I shall roll with it. I want to assure you though that I don't taste very well. I have sufficiently pickled myself. So you're all tethered together, and as you walk forward, you hit the spot where your fireball didn't show a bottom. As you look down, you can't really make out the bottom. It's already kind of dark in here, and the bottom just looks like darkness.
Fireball. Fire
Okay,
bolt.
Fire
so
bolt.
Fire thingy.
you shoot the
A
fireball
little
down.
one. That cost
It
me
goes
nothing.
down. It goes down about 30 feet, and then after that 30 feet, it illuminates spikes, large wooden spikes, sort of set together all across the bottom of this area. As it hits the spikes, it sort of crumbles the one that it hits before you can see that the whole area where it drops is a large spike pit.
I was
I'd like
hoping
to
there'd
throw
be
some
water
more.
down there.
No, I'd like to throw some more fire bolts to burn up. all
Okay,
the
so you're just
spikes.
going ham on the spike pits.
If I'm
Uh,
unless there's objection, she asks the party as she's throwing fire.
Right as I.
No, this seems very wise, dear cousin.
Just for funsies, I tossed a couple of sacred flames down there.
Okay. All right. So you guys spend some time burning up the spike pit at the bottom. So now the spike pit has turned into a lumber pit, I guess.
A soot pit, an ash pit.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that they're smoldering now there's some extra light coming up. And some
Yeah,
smoke.
fair. So yeah, it's reasonable to assume that some of these have lit on fire. So you now have, instead of a spike pit, you have a fire walk.
Ooh.
So it's about 40 feet down, and it spans 20 feet the opposite direction where the rest of this tunnel continues.
Can we jump 20 feet?
We might have
Actually,
to-
Jump. You would have to.
Another- question: did there look to be any egresses in the spike pit for
No.
survivors? Very well.
Hold on.
This
And we
is-
burnt all the wood we could have used to.
Well, we would have had to go down there to grab it.
If only we had rope and wood. Let's see. Minecraft. No.
Yeah.
Are there?
Do we want to try
We
to
got-
get across, or do we want to just turn back and go down a different path?
If I may, we could continue forth if you would prefer to go down this path. I can
Do
make
you
it
have
easy for
something
us
in your
to
fancy book?
traverse this path. I do indeed. If you would be in need of the services of said book.
Do you have an
Oh.
invisible bridge in there?
Show me what you got, big boy.
Make it so.
Oh, right. Okay. He kind of like uncomfortably tries to pull away from you a little bit. He flips through the book a little bit and then comes to a page. He goes, yes, okay, all right. He makes a circle on the book and then taps the book again. And then Ethelbert was in the front. He actually comes up to you and shoves you pretty hard in the back.
Woo!
Hey,
Now we all go flying.
And yeah, so and as he shoves you, you feel like a bolt of energy through you, and he goes, "Don't forget to jump!" As you get to the very edge of the pit.
all right.
Are you jumping?
I forget.
Yes, I will jump.
Tell me.
Okay, all right. So as you hit the edge and you jump, your jump feels much longer than it should be, and you kind of like arms open, flailing, clear this path. As you hit the apex of your arc, you feel the tug of the rest of the people behind you. When you turn back, you actually see Arden kind of patting everybody as they start to hit the end of their tether, and all of you sort of float across as like almost like a human rope bridge as you hit the other side.
I attempt to be
Flying fish.
graceful, so if you would like me to make a dex save while this happens.
Actually, everyone roll acrobatics on your landing.
All
Pretty
right.
good. I at least have a
Oh, I
plus
do
on
have
that one.
advantage. Yeah.
Oh man,
14.
athletics is better for me.
15.
14.
All right, Ethelbert
16.
Ooh.
lands it pretty well. Yep, Mermab lands it pretty well.
And it's like
Priscilla lands it pretty well.
14. Yeah.
All right, yeah, everyone lands it pretty well except for Arden. So
Irony of
Arden
ironies.
Arden actually couldn't do this to himself, so he's sort of just kind of flailing behind you guys. So as you all land, he sort of hits the dirt pretty hard and kind of rolls a little bit. And he rolls enough that he actually pulls the end of his tether a little bit, and then so it's sealed on the end
That's
of him.
me.
He kind of tugs you back a little bit as he rolls to a stop. He kind of gets up and dusts himself off and goes, "That's normally how this spell goes. Of course, I meant for that to be that way. Shall we continue forth?"
Can I just say, can we get a little warning next time? Because that was pretty rude to just start shoving us all around.
I did ask if you wanted my assistance, and you agreed. So I did
Right.
it. Was that not assumed?
one
Well-
must ask for consent when one is touching another.
Sure. All right, fair.
All right.
Noted
But I
for the future.
suppose, as our savior Dolly says, storms make trees take deeper roots. So
This Dolly creature, she sounds very wise.
she's
And
the wisest
verbose.
among us all.
All right, so you're on the other side, and it continues to be a very large tunnel that continues on into darkness.
Firebolt.
Just the one tunnel. Okay.
Actually, I'll do dancing lights. So I'll just pop up 4 orbs and send them all.
Nice.
I
Okay.
love it when you make the lights dance.
You're making Drusilla's hair frizzy.
All right, so there's lots of lights going down the tunnel. I'll say you cast this as you're walking, and it goes on for quite a while. You continue to go down until you actually your firebolt that you continually cast hits a wall. When it hits the wall, it makes a resonating sound. It does not sound like it hit dirt or earth of a tunnel like it has in the past. it makes kind of like a boom when it hits, and then kind of dissipates after it hits. As you see it hit, it looks like it's hit sort of an ornate iron wall, maybe. Everybody roll a perception check on that one.
All right.
This is a very unusual place.
8.
11.
Ooh.
18,
This is a-
11, 8.
21.
Somebody get
Oh,
a
you
nat
roll 21?
Hey.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and don't
Right.
forget Ethel and Mab, Mermab. You both have advantage from
Oh.
the chat.
Fantastic. Thank you, dear Patreon saints.
Okay, so natural 20. As you throw that last firebolt, before it. Sorry.
21.
Oh, sorry, 21. Natural 21.
Minor difference.
As it soars through the air here, before it hits the door, it passes over a spike wall fortification that is facing away from you. So it's as if you're on the defensive side of this spike wall fortification, and there is a piece of that fortification missing. So it's probably, say it's like probably 40 feet, 60 feet wide. From the left to the right, it goes about 40 feet. There's a hole for another 10 feet, and then another 10-foot stretch on the other side of that. Then once it hits the big iron wall, it makes that sound, and then before it dissipates, you notice that it's not smooth or textured like the walls are. It almost looks like there may be engineering to it. It looks
I
like
still
there's
have 3 lights
grooves.
that would have been, because I can keep them basically whatever 10 feet apart. So
Okay.
it would just be that one. The first light would have smacked. But I
Sure,
should
yeah.
have
So
3 lights. Just
yeah, no,
I'll
good
just arrange
clarification.
them. Yeah, I'll just arrange them along
Um,
the wall.
as that last one hits, your dancing lights kind of stop with it, and it stops on this wall. So once the firebolt dissipates, the 3 lights sort of sit before you have a chance to really like move them around the space. They stop at this wall, and it's lit up to a lot of different ornate, intricate, almost art that looks like it's on this. And with your natural 21, there is a seam down the middle.
Well, look what you just found, cousin.
Yes, well, I'm now recollecting this time that our guide, Arden, had mentioned something about thralls attacking. And it looks as though this might be the gateway that was defended. For if you see here, defenses.
Aren't we-
I'll be. Even I guess
Guys,
even a
we're
blind
between-
squirrel occasionally finds a nut.
I thought that the original trap was to keep people from going in, but now I'm thinking it's just one in a line of keeping things from coming out.
I would concur.
Arden looks very validated at this point. He takes himself off of the tether that you guys, for whatever reason, still had on, I guess. And he walks, he walks around the fortified wall and looks at this, what now looks like a door, a very, very large door. And he kind of looks at it and goes, it's real. It's real. You're seeing that it's real. He's getting very excited about
It
that.
is certainly a real door.
It ain't a figment of our imagination.
And he gets a little bit closer and he goes, "Oh, this is worse than I thought, though. The door is open." And as he says that, you now notice that the seam that you saw, it's not the seam of a door closed. It's actually the seam of negative space where it's open. It's ajar, about 5 feet. And as he says it's open, so Arden is about let's say 20 feet away from the opening, you see what looks like a creature's head start to slowly peek out of the door. And you hear this really nasty screech come out of it that I would do if I can, but I I can't do the screech that it makes.
Hold
but
on,
it's,
I got you, but I got you, buddy.
yeah. So a little faded at first, and then builds up to that. Yeah. And then this thing comes charging at Arden.
Oh no,
So,
that's my meal.
so
It's not okay.
Firebolt. Firebolt.
we'll get the firebolts in. If you guys want to quickly roll an initiative rolls, just so we can get you guys in order.
All right.
Firebolt.
Oh. Now I roll a 21.
Meanwhile, I got a nat 1, and with my -1 initiative, I somehow rolled a 0.
I thought
All
I
right.
Wait a
rolled
second, did
badly.
but I got a boost from Saint Ignatius gave me
would
a
like
help the
to
player.
Take a advantage, a reroll.
Hard to do worse than that. All right, my second roll was a 3. Thank you, Saint Tig.
It's better than a 0.
Heavens!
All
What
right, so we
even
got
would that do?
21 for Silb, 3 for Drusilla. Who else?
18.
18?
4.
And a 4. Okay. All right. So before the initiative kicked off,
Oh,
Mermab, you got.
that's a good point.
Yeah, Lil
What was
Kitten
that?
is making a good point. A nat 1. So it's not that it was re-rolled. It was that I got a buff from Saint Tig in the comments, but I don't mind going through with the nat 1 consequences if that makes for a better story.
It just means you're gonna go last. So
It's initiative
good.
order, so I
Right.
don't really have a consequence for it.
Right. Yeah. So Rev Tommy seems suggests that maybe a 0 means that I missed the first round, I guess.
That is
You could
how
do
I
that.
have played it in the past.
I trip
you
over
missed the
I
first
trip over
round.
I trip over my bottle of moonshine and I'm prone for the first round maybe.
Okay,
Or you just
we can roll with that.
you're too slow to act at all in the first round.
Right. I'm so shocked that
Done.
Mermab here actually found something with your eyes.
Okay,
Firebolt.
so so Mermab got a surprise hit with the firebolt. So roll attack on that.
Firebolt, gonna firebolt. Sorry, gonna work on my firebolt song. Does a
Catfish. This is
7 hit?
It does not hit.
Does
No.
All right,
Wait,
so
Do I have the advantage still? I can't recollect. I will let Timmy.
I don't think you used your advantage yet.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
And Ethelbert Merman also still has advantage, I think.
I'm
It's
holding
a-
on to it if possible.
I think we're
15.
supposed to use it at the first
Yeah.
opportunity, just to remind everybody.
Does the 15 hit?
15 will hit.
Awesome. Allow me to roll for some damage.
Yep.
It won't be much. Oh, unless it's a 9. So she, I would say, not loses her cool, but as soon as she sees something moving, this is how it plays out. She's looking at the thing, she sees something moving, and she instinctively does a firebolt.
Right.
And-
Firebolt now, ask questions later.
So how much damage was that?
9.
Okay. All right. So it hits the creature. It kind of screeches a little bit, and then kind of turns at you. And it doesn't have really facial features. So like when it looks at you, it's kind of like a just kind of a smooth facade with an opening for a mouth, and it lets out that screech. And then it's now Silb's turn.
All right. I rush forward and I put one arm around Arden and I hiss back at the thing. Mine. And on the other hand, I cast Chromatic Orb, and I'm going to spend a Sorcerer Point to empower the spell. We'll see. So I need to roll a ranged spell attack. So let's find my numbers. Okay. Does a 16 hit?
I will hit.
Awesome. All right. You roll some things and do some math. 8 plus 3 is 11 plus 6 is 17. And I actually don't need to re-roll anything. Actually, I'll risk re-rolling the 3. All right, gives me a 5. So it's 11 plus 8 is 19 damage.
Damage? Yeah, okay. So explain what this chromatic orb looks like as it
For
as it hits him.
me, it looks like Arctic ice. So it's almost sphere shaped, but it has that really like translucity blueness to it that Arctic ice has, deep Arctic ice.
Okay.
And it's going to do cold damage.
Okay. Okay, good. So you release the chromatic orb. Orb or orbs?
Orb.
Orb. Okay. You release the chromatic orb, and as it careens towards this thrall, it sort of hits in the center of it. And rather than like shattering or doing anything, it goes through the thrall and rips the body away with it. And it just sort of like, as it starts to let out a scream, it gets cut off and it just kind of whimpers away and then just falls into the ground as a big pile. So it's gone. Then, yeah, so you grab Arden, and then there's no other thrall that you see. Let's do a perception check, everybody.
11.
Oh, for heaven's
13.
sake. I rolled a 1 plus 3 is 4.
There it is.
What,
You get 21?
what is it?
I got a 21 again. Yeah.
Hey!
Okay.
Oh, wait. And Sib has an advantage to you. So
Oh, I'll hang on.
Not
to
for
that
nat ones.
Uh-oh.
one. I'll hang on to my advantage for the next thing.
Okay.
He'll be back.
So, yeah. So the adrenaline of the battle still sort of has everyone kind of caught off guard, but Silb, being a little horrific in nature, this does not faze her. This is a totally normal environment for her. After she kills it, she's on the lookout for the next thing. Ever vigilant, she hears that same noise far off in the distance behind the door, but not just one of these things. She hears that very quietly, but amplified, echoing to the reverberation of thousands of this noise. So Silb hears this first, and it is a terrifying sound of almost like a thrall concert, if you will.
Nope.
I explained
starts
this
to
to
get-
everyone. I just realized I have a typo in my name. All right.
You heard what?
As she starts to talk about it, it gets louder, and you all start to hear it now that she has pointed it out. And it is
So mine's a Moria all
terrifying.
over again.
So,
Mine's a warrior all over again. What were we doing there? I was drunk. I don't remember. Remind me.
I don't know. We were
there was
attacking
a
bunch
lot of
dwarves or
fire.
something.
Yeah.
So at this point, Arden is trembling at hearing this noise, and he turns to you all and he says, "I think it's time we should probably leave and tell our findings to the mayor." Yes.
It's okay.
Well,
I've got
what have
you.
we found?
What have we found? This is the tomb. This is the tomb of the necromancer, and it's open, and all of his
Right.
followers will be pouring out of here if they haven't already.
Can
We
we
need to
close
leave
it?
now?
Is that where the noise is coming from? It's on the other side of this door?
Yes,
that-
and
is
as you
that-
guys are talking, it's getting progressively louder.
Why
Okay.
do not?
Have a
Why do we
plan
not simply
for if
close
it
the door?
was open?
I'm going to create bonfire on the other side of the door.
All right. And then,
Okay.
Close
if
the door if we can.
if the door needs mending, I got a spell for that.
You can try whatever you want to try and close the door.
All right. Well, yeah, we can
You want
try
to just try and push the door closed?
Yes.
Allow the strong man to lay his very strong fins
All right.
upon it.
Roll
I got-
roll an athletics check.
Very good. All right, I'm going to use advantage because there we go. All
There's
right,
math.
very good. Athletics
assist with
check. I have an 18.
Okay.
Well, I ain't assisting much. I got a 5 on to assist. So I just get in
very still trying to regain your composure from that bottle slip.
Yep.
Very confident in your skills, Ethelbert. You sort of run towards this door and put all of your strength into hitting this door, and almost cartoonishly, as you hit the door, science prevails, and you hit it. It makes a very similar bong sound that the firebolt did, and you bounce a notable about 5 feet back off of the door, and the door remains unmoved.
Friends, the door remains unmoved by my efforts.
All right, we've got. So I know I'm not a bard in this game, but can you give me the stage, please, Mermab?
I certainly can.
Because
Allow me
we
to.
got some. We got a good old some nice lyrics coming up on the stage. So from Chef Nutmeg and Victorian London Fog, get ready for. It's time to meet the Thrallets. It's time to fight the fight. It's time to meet the Thrallets on Nat 21 tonight. Do do do
Boom,
do do.
boom, boom, boom.
It's time to roll D20s. It's time to roll them right. Time to defeat Thrallets on Nat 21 tonight.
Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know.
Thank you, Chef Nutmeg and Victorian London Fog. You are inspired.
What would it take to close this door? Can we
So-
proceed?
Based on the comical pushback from Ethelbert and the Arden starts to speak as well. He kind of says, I don't know if we can close this door. It was magically sealed. So for it to be open, I'm not sure that there's anything that we can do. And as this is going on, this screeching is getting louder and louder to the point where you almost can't hear each other talking. And then so Arden has to kind of raise his voice and he says, I feel that we may need to leave before danger keeps us here forever. And
On
he
our way
starts
out-
taking off.
I say sure. Sure. On our way out, can I cast a spell?
Sure.
Gust of wind. So
Okay.
pointed on the other side of the door away. So it'll give
Okay.
us basically an extra 60 seconds.
And
How many
the
are they?
bonfire.
I want to see Justin
there.
roll a strength check for every single thrall.
So I will say that the sound, while very loud, doesn't sound close.
Okay.
But it sounds like
I
it's
was
getting
about to say-
closer.
okay.
Is it time for my cousin the fishlets to put your hand up inside on the other side of that door and send a fireball on down that hall?
I don't have. Look at what you have done to me. I do not have fireball yet,
5, level 5.
but I do have a quick question. Have we leveled up yet?
Not yet. No.
We ain't done much. I mean,
Who do you think you are? Varus the Destroyer? The Varman
So
we
Arden
had-
of ancient tales?
Arden
we had
is
him-
leaving you guys behind.
Oh, I guess we should follow the.
I guess
We
if
must-
that's the best we can do, how are we going to get back over that pit?
Same way, I assume.
The same way that we came. So he's kind of
right.
waiting as you guys are like he's almost like a tag rally where he's sort of just standing at the edge waiting for you guys to run at him.
Tie yourself back up so you can be dragged along, honorable history man.
Oh, this is a good point. Yes.
Nice work, concentration.
Just Sib, grab my hand on your way through.
We do the thing that we have done.
Gladly.
And I will like to constantly throw fire bolts behind us.
Okay.
Totally fair.
So as you guys are running back towards where Arden is, you tie yourselves back together. He does the same thing as he's doing it. He has to, do I have your consent? And then kind of before you answer, he still like hits you with it.
All right.
And then you all fly back over the pit of fire and smolder. End up on the other
Right.
sid.
You
And
mean
then-
this pit that would have injured the things that are chasing us, but now won't?
A 40-foot
maybe-
fall could still
It
hurt.
is a 40-foot fall. It is true.
It is,
They'll have to pile
it
up
sounds
enough
like
and then
there's-
run over.
I was about to say, it sounds like there's enough of them that they're going to be able to fill it up and come after us after that. Like a pile of ants.
So
Like a tub of I can't believe it's not Thrall.
are you guys coming back out the same exact way you came in?
Is there another way out?
Are you stopping for snacks or anything?
Oh, I mean,
Sounds like we got to go just as fast as we can.
Okay.
And if possible, I would like to do what I can to patch some of the hole that we had made in our wake
Okay.
with the
Right.
assistance of my dear friend and cousin, Ethel Merman.
As Arden is borderline sprinting, he says, "If you can do it while moving, that would be great." And he's not stopping. He is done with this place.
Hmm.
well,
Right.
Your
that
boyfriend
was an
is.
adventure.
Could we cause another cave-in? Mirmab.
I would like that very much. Yeah.
Oh,
Try it.
yeah. I bet we can. We've destroyed better
guys
places
still-
than this.
Are you trying to match Arden's pace to stay with him?
Is he still tied
Well-
to us?
Oh no, he's
Nobody's
pulled
holding
himself
my
off of that.
hand, so I guess I am.
I'll say he's pretty much said like, I'll take point. I know the way back out of here, and he's off in the front, just running for his life.
Booking it. All right.
Yeah.
We continue.
I guess,
Okay.
yeah.
All
You
right.
can
Yeah, we-
cast spells or try and smash the wall on your way out if you want. I can say you can have like one action to try and
I
do
mean,
that
I'd
if you
love to
want.
help, but I got hold person, charm person, drag person to watery
Okay.
death. So
I
none
will
of
be
them's gonna help.
firebolting.
I've got no
everything.
meld stone.
I have no firebolt or anything like that.
Okay. So you guys follow you follow Arden back out. He's very quickly running through his book. He hits the book, splits the waterfall, and you guys kind of hightail it out of there. And once you get out to the edge of the waterfall, he drops the spell, the curtains collapse again. And he catches his breath for a second. He says, "Okay, we have to go back to the mayor immediately. We have to tell her that this thing is coming and it's coming now." So he tells you that, kind of takes a bunch of huffs again, and starts running again towards the town.
Oh, I hate all this running.
So
Right.
you run
Got
through the
waterways
forest.
that can take us into town.
you run back through the forest. You get back to town. Something doesn't seem right in town either. It is notably brighter than it was before. And as you get back into the main area of town where the pub was, where you see the mayoral office, no perception needed. There's fires happening, and there is kind of mayhem happening in the middle of the town here. The outskirts of the major city aren't that bad. People seem very worried, but this main structured area where like the mayoral office is, where you guys first started, is kind of pandemonium happening. The mayor's out front. She's shouting different directions. There's people running kind of everywhere. You see the same type of creature that you fought inside of the cave system. Multiples of them now out here. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me real quick.
I just like to point out that we didn't do it.
This time.
Thank goodness I'm using my advantage now because that was terrible.
Perception 16.
11.
Nine.
15.
Okay, Drusilla and Silb, amidst all this chaos, you guys happen to clock that there is a hole, a very large hole that looks like it has been dug out of the ground in the town, and these creatures are coming out of that, or at least you assume that they're coming out of that based on the proximity of it and where these thralls are now starting to attack the townspeople.
I bet you weren't counting on a back door.
So as that's happening, who had the higher roll? Was it Drusilla?
Yeah,
it was
Drusilla had higher than me.
16.
Drusilla, you see a very large creature, much larger than the thralls that are out here, start to emerge from this hole. You guys are a little too far off to do anything, but you see this creature start to come out of the hole, and he's very big, probably double the size of the other thralls that you've seen. Very, very sickly looking, and he starts walking. He's striding very confidently towards the mayor. With your perception, you shout out to the rest of the group, saying that like something's happening. That catches all of your attention, and you look. You only have enough time to see what's happening. This creature comes out, grabs the mayor by the back of the neck, lifts her up. He dons this giant, sickly-looking sword and runs it through the mayor.
Oh dear.
He holds it there for
Ardent,
a second.
I'm so sorry.
He holds it there for a second, rips the sword back out, and drops the mayor.
I like
And
his style, though.
this creature has no facial features, but he has like an opening where a mouth would be. He opens his mouth, and you hear this voice, almost like a loudspeaker, and the voice kind of just turns, not really anywhere, just kind of like turning back and forth, and you hear the voice come out and say, "Finally, it has happened. I am released from my slumber. You can no longer hold me entombed anymore." And he lets out this large laugh, this as it starts to fade away. And the thralls are causing all sorts of chaos. And then this creature turns towards you guys, and the voice kind of almost like it's talking directly at you now. Kind of almost hits like in your mind. While it's vocal, it feels like it's also mental. And it says, "I also have to thank you, historian, for finding this information and leading me to this area. I will see you soon." And after he says that, the creature just falls into like a pile of rubble. And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
what? So about that leveling up.
We're gonna need it. I'm going to say. What level is Fireball again?
5.
Well, on that, I believe it is time for all of us to have our confessions.
Yeah. About
Yeah, okay.
that. About
Yeah.
that.
Well, I tell you what, you come up on the surface and these people, they all be drinking their substandard brews and killing each other with swords and having all these thralls. And I just want to go back to the swamp. It's so much simpler there. Oh, God.
Finally, there is something in front of me that I can lay my life down for. in defense of my kindred, my friends, my cousins, and possibly if we have to destroy this blighted city in order to save it, we can do so. And then Mermablandia shall stand as the one true kingdom of this isle.
I believe that this is certainly a very tragic state of events. But I like to think of it as a target-rich environment. I wrote a poem about it. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Fire, fire, fire. Firebolt. Burn, burn, burn. Burn, 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 burn. Would you like to hear it again?
Yes. Maybe later.
Fire, fire, fire.
Why do I have to go after Matt? Unfair. Well, this has taken a rather dark turn. I will say, there's nothing that I find sexier than a man who has just lost the love of his life. And here I am to comfort him.
From the perspective of Ferdinand the bartender, I'm really, really glad that I got the payment from Arden before he decides to skip town after all of this happening. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. Screw that guy. He sucks.
Tip your bartenders, folks.
Love it. Oh, you're just stuck on the screen now. That's fine.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Friends, thank you so very much for joining all of us here tonight. Our brand new GM, Justin. Well done. Yes.
We've broken him
Able
in.
to handle this rowdy mess.
But you have to make sure you tune in for part 2 of this 2-part adventure. The advertisements lied to us because they
It's
said
a 2 plus 1.
It's a 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Plus
But-
what?
But our other
I do
actors, our other performers, Mab, where are you going to be doing over the next week? Where
This
can people
next
find
week,
you?
I will be definitely making things. I will be joining the Creating for Crew tomorrow. We do have Thursday off, for it is a day of explosions.
Yes, explosions. Most excellent. And Lady Prudence, where can everyone find you?
Well, you can always find Lady Prudence doing her no rehearsal time total request live extravaganza on Modern Mondays. And in the intervening week, I am also going to be working on my upcoming 2 albums for release that will definitely be ready by September. Exclusively on flash drives. So I'm getting a little adorable album title keychains made by my friend Kevin of Sky King's Falconry, who also happens to have a wood laser cutter, and with art made by my friend with contributing artists such as Vince Conaway, Amanda Kitchens, Jim Hancock himself, the Rambling Sailors, the Sarah Mullen on her harp, and Zilch the Tory Stellar. So there's going to be a lot going because it's 2 whole albums. And also, of course, just for Johnny O, I'm going to be practicing my thrall sound.
Zigo's Meep, how can what are you going to be up to over the next week?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow, I will be live streaming on my channel, Zigo's Meep. I do video games. This time I will not be with my son because my son actually has a doctor's appointment. So I'll be on my own. So come watch me and chat at me so that otherwise I'll ramble and be an idiot. Also this week, nothing on Friday because holiday weekend. So no stream on Friday. But usually you can see me Wednesdays and Fridays.
And everyone can go to your online tea shop.
Yes. So you can always go to tabletopteas.com. And that was going to be the other thing this week is filling the Tea Adventure Club orders. So if you are a Tea Adventure Club subscriber, you should be getting your orders hopefully very soon. I hope to get them out in the next day or two. If you're not, you can always sign up and start next month. It's fun.
All right. And when I am not being very excellent, most excellent. I am Shakespeare, and you can find me right here Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. for writing sonnets with Shakespeare. We had a very unfathomably first half political existential dread episode this morning. Well, thank you. You can go recatch that on the YouTubes. But also, you can join me this weekend at the Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Fair in Ansonia, Connecticut. Come and join me. Paolo Garbanzo is going to be there with me this weekend, along with Vince Conaway and the Crimson Pirates, Daniel Greenwolf, Crystal Younglove, the Indestructible Woman. So many wonderful performers. This past weekend we had Harmless Danger, so it's absolutely delightful. And then of course back here next Tuesday with Sonnets at 11, and then here at 8 p.m. But I think we have one final confession we need to hear, and that would be from Arden.
All right, Arden.
So the only thing that you hear Arden say is, "Rosa, not my Rosa, not my Rosa."
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
Oh. So Mab, do you want to take us out?
Justin, do you want to take us out?
All right,
After tonight's show, you might.
I can do it next time. I don't
All
know
right.
the proper
That's
way
all
to
right.
do so.
We want to thank you once again. Welcome to 921 Adventures. You did an awesome job. And remember, folks, when a natural 20 won't do, you need
I put mine down.
21.
Oh wow!
Am I showing it off? There we go.
Nice.
I know. I put mine.